Morning, Arjun, and welcome to
Mo-
Sea Talk. So, Arjun, thanks for coming on. Do you want to tell me who you are, who you trade with, and what area your store's in?
Morning, Paul. Pleasure to be here. Yeah, so my name's Arjun. We are based in Wiltshire, Swindon. So we have a Premier Store and a post office, and then next door we have so it really sounds really random, but a chippy and a Chinese takeaway that we run as well.
Good,
Acquired that 2 years ago. So yeah, bit of both. So yeah.
good. And how long has the family been trading?
So we took this store over from my uncle around 10-ish years ago,
Hmm.
and then from quite sad circumstances, but it is what it is.
Hmm.
And then just ran with it since, and just developed the store. Obviously, adding the post office, adding new fridges, all the regular stuff. So that's been for 10 years, and then obviously the Chippy and Chinese we took over July 2023, which is quite a new addition to the portfolio. But yeah, all fun and
Yeah,
stress. But yeah, good.
good, very good. So, look, I think you should be very proud. You've been chosen as one of the Monster ambassadors by
Yes.
our great friends at Coca-Cola. So, tell me, what's it feel like being a Monster ambassador?
Well, I feel privileged, first of all. Obviously, it's very exciting and amazing to be part of. It's
Hmm.
obviously a brand that resonates well with me, obviously, because it does so well in our store. Because my
Hmm.
customers love it, I've obviously got to love it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, it's exciting. Obviously, they have so much information and knowledge about the sector. So they give you,
Cool.
stuff to do with planograms, how to lay out the store. Obviously, they do, customer activations, but obviously get the customer engaged. So, they're really,
Hmm.
really on top of it. And again, they help me, and which obviously helps retailers. So yeah, it's always good to be a part of it.
And it's great to see your face on the campaign and on the website as well. So it's really
Yeah.
good. So, what success have you seen in your store as a result of joining the Sales Supercharged planogram?
So it's a bit of both. So I'll speak about the shop side first.
Hmm.
We previously went for it's not vertical, but the other way, a horizontal planogram. So we just had all the
Yeah,
monsters lined up like that. So
yeah.
essentially, the customer would walk across the fridge, and then since we changed it to a vertical, so we've got the regulars, then we've got the flavor, then we've got the zero,
Yeah.
and we have seen the sales increase. And then to go a little bit further, about 3 to 4 months ago, we introduced a £2 for £3 deal on all the monsters, just to see how the customers react. Like, one perception was that they'd buy more, but they'd come less
Hmm.
frequently. But then
Yeah.
what I then realized is the consumption just goes up. So I had a
Yeah.
little look at the sales just month on month. So I think I did last month this year and then last month last year, and the sales were up 52%, which is
Wow.
obviously amazing. Obviously, the margin's going to be a bit lower, but overall, the cash profit went way higher. So that was
Mm.
obviously as per the Monster Supercharge information. So obviously, I was a bit skeptical to try out first,
Yeah.
but obviously, it works so well. And obviously, the sales are going up, customers are happy, average basket spend's going up.
Hmm.
It's kind of a thing because I've got some competition. I've got a independent store around the corner, obviously, got a massive co op. So because Monster's such a massive brand, and when you think Monster, when customers are going to think Monster, they're going to think, right, we'll go to the Premier Store. So that's worked
Yeah.
really well. And then so that's in the convenience store. And then in the takeaway, I've got a Coca-Cola fridge. And at first, I think I only had the original Monster and then the white zero Monster.
Hmm.
So I was obviously skeptical because we're charging £2 there, and I'm thinking, if obviously the shop's next door, so I'm thinking, if they want a Monster, why would they come to the Chippy? They'll just go next door and buy it. But I tell you what, people are happy to spend £2. I always
Yeah.
thought Monster's a mission drink, but it's not, because of the flavour profile. It just tastes as nice as a normal
Yeah.
soft drink. People are buying it. So since then, I had it at eye level. So I've got the Coca-Cola bottles. 'Cause obviously, it's one of the fastest sellers in the fridge in the Chippy. And then
Hmm.
since then, I've added Pipeline Punch, Mango, and I think I had the old Lewis Hamilton one. But I'm looking to add more because customers are just like to buy Monster with food. I've newly
Yeah.
found realised since joining Monster Supercharge, just added the range. So that's going really well. And I think price isn't actually as sensitive in a food business as I first
Hmm.
thought.
Well, it's mad because you're only next door to each other and you're doing two for £3 in the one store, but on a
Yeah,
different mission in your food to go, people are willing to pay £2. So look, that's just
that's
great. That
crazy.
is working both ways, right? You sometimes you just
Yeah.
can't weigh the customer up, can you?
You can't. You try to think what they're thinking, but you never can. And I've learned from someone. They said to me, "Don't think what your customers want. Sometimes just
Hmm.
do," and that obviously has worked in this case.
So when we talk about and we listen to the advice from our great friends at CCEP, so we know 61% of all Monster purchases are made alongside food. So how are you using that insight to influence your store layout and your promotions? So we know the promotions you're doing are 2 for 3, but are you multi-siting Monster around the store as well, or is it you just focusing? That's it. It's in my food to go area, in my chiller, or are you putting it elsewhere as well?
So I have a dual sighting. One
Mm-hmm.
aspect, if you try to do power pairing, we're just trying to, complement the with food, so sandwiches, samosas, the typical stuff you have in your fridge, and then be like, right, buy a sandwich, because my sandwich you can get a good margin on, and then say get a Monster for X amount. So we try to,
Yes.
match those two products. I also have a Monster chiller next to my main fridge, but the idea behind that is we keep the Monster fridge on and also the main fridge on, but obviously because Monster sells out so quick, instead of replenishing it with stock from the back that's warm, we're replenishing it with obviously cold Monster drinks. So
Yeah.
honestly, we don't sell any more drinks from the Monster cooler. It's just there just to make sure customers always have cold Monster. Not sure that answers your question, but that's one aspect. And then another aspect is what I've recently done is I've installed a self-serve kiosk in the shop next to my coffee machine. Now, how that works is you'll essentially just order from there. The order will go in next door whilst the chippy's closed, because we open at 12. So this is more of like a morning rush.
Mhm.
You order there, the order will go through into the chippy, the staff will make it, and they'll bring it through the back, and they'll obviously give it to the customer. Now, when I set this up, I was thinking, perfect, we can do a coffee in a bat for X amount. And obviously,
Mhm.
again, since become a supercharged ambassador, you realise Monster is so much more than what you think it is. So now I'm
Yeah.
thinking, right, instead of doing a coffee and a bat deal, we'll do a Monster and a bat deal, and see how that goes. I'm not yet to obviously put that in as of yet, but I'm
Mhm.
looking to redo the whole kiosk, and then sort of speaking to Monster, maybe getting it like vinyl to have like Monster logos all over the kiosk, so that obviously when they think what
Yeah.
drink, they can think Monster. So again, that's where I'm seeing food and Monster being more of a pairing than what you actually think it is.
Yeah.
And so hopefully it's going to go well, because Monster's already great margin. People don't want a warm drink as much as like you think with Baps.
Mhm.
They want a cold energetic drink, which is nice. Sorry, a nice cold nice flavored drink as opposed to a coffee.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I think it works. And again, it's just the power pairing, as they say.
Oh, that's amazing. So you're seeing it from both angles, and what you're doing with Monster, it's just amazing. So if you used to give one top tip to our fellow retailers that are listening to this, what would you say? What would you tell them to do?
First of all, obviously stock the whole range, which I'm sure they all do, because Monster's one of the
Mhm.
best brand, well, is the best like energy drink brand out there. Um, Potentially play on some multi-buy deals. Again, it
Yeah.
depends on your location, depends on the competition. I'm not going to say do a multi-buy deal if you have no competition, because it's up to you, know what you're doing.
Mhm.
Perhaps start off with the zero sugar multi-buys, 'cause
Yeah.
obviously the margins are a little bit better on them.
Yeah.
And then obviously listen to what we have on the Supercharged website. The information on there is second to none. They obviously don't. They know a lot more than we think we know.
Yeah.
They know all of us top retailers. They're collating all the information that they see on ground level and obviously higher level, and then
Mhm.
they're putting into actionable advice that we can actually put into our stores. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's the advice I'd give.
Good stuff. That's been amazing. So look, big thank you to you for sharing what you're doing as a Monster ambassador. But I think what you've told me today. I've learned something. Definitely going to put some of that back into what I do, and hopefully many other retailers will. So from us here at Sea Talk, thank you, Arjun.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.